Please tell us how you got interested in athletic training and give us a brief synopsis of your career.
Wow. Well, I started as a high school athletic training student through the guidance of a high school teacher who had done a little bit of it himself and got me the first series of athletic training in the 70s. And then he got me to camp, and he just guided me along. And then he knew some folks in the colleges at the time that got me involved. So I started at, I went to junior college first just for a couple of years. And then I went to Bowling Green to work with Bill Jones, Hall of Famer. And also Bob Livingood, who was did the academic part. So I had a great experience at Bowling Green. Then I left during that time too. That high school teacher that got me involved in athletic training knew somebody with the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, it was Otho Davis. And so he connected me to Otho, and so I did an internship there. And I came back and got my master's at Bowling Green. Then I came to Beaver Creek High School at the urging of Jim Place. So I got to work with a great coach there. Then I went to Wright State in 1985, January 1 of 85. I just retired there in what year are we? 2016. So 32 years at Wright State.
How did you first get involved in the OATA, and what was it like starting the OATA?
Okay. I was one of the original 28. And a lot of it had to do with because my relationship with Bob Livingood. Okay? He got me started there, getting involved when I was in college. And so from there on, when we first got here, we started the Greater Dayton Athletic Trainers Association. That was in 1980. And it was all the WOL trainers at that time. There was 10 schools, I think, at the time, and 9 schools had athletic trainers. And so we got out together first. And informally started the Greater Dayton, had the Western Ohio Athletic Trainers, and then it became the Greater Dayton Athletic Trainers a few years later. Because then we got Dave Schoen involved, who was at Wright State at the time. He was probably the go-to guy because he's the one that had a list of all the athletic trainers in the area. So we started informally as Western Ohio Athletic Trainers, and then we became the Greater Dayton Athletic Trainers. We started organizing at Wright State. And then we said, hey, we need to state association, and at that time was when Bob Livingood was starting to write the licensure for athletic training. And from there on, it just grew. And I was president, I can't remember what year, but I served my 6-year sentence. But it was good. It was a lot of growth during that time.
What was a typical day like when you were at your first job versus later in your career?
My first job was at Beaver Creek High School, official job. So I taught Spanish for full load, 6 out of the 7 classes, and then I was the athletic trainer after school. So I really had 2 full-time jobs. So I spent a lot of days, 8 to 8, 8 to 9 every day, including Saturdays and Sundays, because I only had 1 assistant at the time, and we had a lot of athletes. So that was tough, and I almost got burned out, but I knew I needed to get out of there. Otherwise I wasn't going to survive. So a couple times I applied to other positions, especially the Cleveland Clinic at the time, because I worked with John Lombardo at Beaver Creek High School. He was my team physician, and I always wanted to hook up with him again. So a couple of times we had opportunities to go back home to Cleveland, but it just wasn't the right time. In '83, I just bought a house, and then a year later, another job became available, and I did not take it. And even up until about I think it was about 10 years ago, I was going to make another move, but I decided to stay again because at the time the family did not want to move. My mom was ill. I was going to go back and be with her, and she said, "No, just stay where you are." But I stayed, and then I became Associate Vice President of Wright State.
What has been the biggest change that you've seen in athletic training?
The change in what we do has been good. I've seen a lot of growth. What I did not like, what I've seen is there's this third-party reimbursement should have been done years ago. I hate to be critical, but I will be. But I don't think we got the direction we needed from the national office. Okay? And so we're still behind the other occupations, but we still just need that strong leadership at the national level to guide us through that process.
What's the biggest challenge you've seen or experienced during your career?
The hours. And there's a lot of hours away from family. And even the pay. The pay is not equivalent to what we should be making. Okay? Again, and I felt that at the national level, we have not had good direction. When Otho Davis was there, we were moving in the right direction. But after that time, it just did not move at the pace it should have.
What does being an athletic trainer mean to you?
I enjoyed it a lot because we met a lot of different people. And I always tell folks, I got paid to watch games. But I really enjoyed working one-on-one with the athletes. I liked the challenge of when they were hurt, being able to get them back to perform. And I also love the camaraderie with other students and coaches for the most part. Primarily the athletic training students and the athletes were my favorite parts.
What was some of your favorite memories of being involved in the OATA?
Watching it grow. Watching that look on Bob Livingood's face because he's so determined to get things done, and he got it done. And I mean, I'm not sure people realize how much he did and how knowledgeable that guy was and how he challenged everybody. I had him for many classes and challenged me to be who I became because he was a very good teacher.
Looking back, if you could change something about your career, what would it be and why?
I don't know if I would change much because I really enjoyed what I did. But I think it would be spend less time covering some events and spending more time with my family.
Explain how your practice or philosophy has changed throughout your career.
My philosophy has changed. I just don't let the little things I can't control me. That I become much more inclusive, much more. I delegate a lot more, okay? And I just feel that I just give more responsibilities to others, and I help them grow. That's what I've enjoyed most.
Were you an author, creator, or inventor of something?
Well, I could write stage program. And that took a lot of time.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Do you have any advice for young professionals?
Get involved, but watch your time that you spend away from family. Okay? I think it's very important that what you do, but don't overextend yourself, and learn to say no.
What is one quote or phrase that you are known for repeating throughout your career?
I don't know, what would it be?
Write this down.
Write this down.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I just see the future of athletic training getting better. But again, I think legislative-wise, we have to stay on top of it. That's why I've taken the position I have taken. I think I'm going to be able to help a profession more in my new position than I have.
And tell us what you're doing now.
I will be working for the Attorney General, Mike DeWine, for the next few years. And hopefully he becomes governor.
Very cool.
So.
All right. Thanks, Tony.
Okay.